don't know why I tried to film this video yesterday because do you have those days of the month where you're functioning on like 18% and you know you're only using 18% of your brain, but you still try to get stuff done and everything is just like a sloppy little mess? Because that was yesterday, and I was watching back the video from yesterday and I was like, I don't even know what I'm talking about. What am I saying? So I scrapped it. It still exists. It's not good. Doesn't matter. We're going to start over. It's been a whole month since I've been on here, which is disappointing because it's disappointing. But it's fine. Yesterday was supposed to be like a bigger return to the YouTube world thing, and I didn't do it. I was MIA the whole month of March because it was just busy. Like, life just got really busy. Good busy. Mostly all good things busy. Mostly. Mostly, I don't know. Positive book news for the month of March. While I did not read a single thing to completion except for listening to Mel Robbins' Let Them on a long drive to New Orleans and back, I was able to meet Tracy Deonn on the Oathbound tour stop in Houston, which was really cool. Nia Davenport, the author of the Blood Trials duology, she was there as the moderator. She spoke. It was amazing. Lots of Beehive members there. Such good energy in the room. Tracy Deonn is like such a brilliant, hilarious, witty, intellectual, every positive adjective, descriptive words, adjective you can think of. She was great. I had an incredible time, but like I said, it was a busy month, so I drove from Austin area of Texas down to the Houston area of Texas and back in one night, and then had a huge 9 to 5 presentation the next morning. So all that to say, it was a crazy month. That was just 48 hours. It was like that all month. So it was a crazy month, but it's over. And that's also not at all what I'm here to talk about today. This is what I'm here to talk about today. I received the ARC for Can't Get Enough by Kennedy Ryan, and it was like I don't even remember how it happened. My friend was like, hey, go get it right now. And I was like, yes, ma'am. So I did, and it worked out. NetGalley said, great, congratulations, you're approved, download it immediately, and I did. And I started reading it immediately, and it was amazing. And what's funny is at the start of the year, I think I full-on convinced myself that this book was coming out in February. So when I received the ARC in February, I was like, obviously, I manifested this. I made this happen. Not the case, doesn't matter. I'm still super excited. You probably know that this is the third book in a trilogy, and it is an incredible trilogy called the Skyland Trilogy. Skyland is the neighborhood all these women live in. And the first in the trilogy is Before I Let Go. The second is This Could Be Us. And the third and final is Can't Get Enough. And the song references Do Not Elude Me. That is some of the magic of Kennedy Ryan just being Kennedy Ryan. But these books all follow a different member of this little friendship trio and what they're dealing with in their life at the moment. One of the things I absolutely love about the series is that while it is romance focused, it's also, all of them have a secondary storyline that I think is just really important. In the first book, with Yasmin and Josiah, we get to follow this experience of a second chance romance, this husband and wife who experienced grief at the same time, but very differently, and instead of falling into each other for support in their grief, they kind of fell apart. So throughout the book, we're navigating the complexities of still owning a business together, having other children together, and dealing with this grief, and maybe realizing that as they heal, there's still safety and comfort and home that they can find in each other. And so we get to experience themes of grief while also getting the exciting parts of what you find in a romance novel. Those like butterfly feelings, the feelings of like, wow, the passion is there. Wow, this is kind of hot. Like the whole thing, the whole nine. And the second book in the series, Soledad's Journey, is more about, I mean, in the first book we hear a lot about Soledad and how her relationship is kind of not what anyone would ever want ever. And her husband's just kind of awful. And so we get this really awesome journey of Soledad kind of coming into her own and remembering who she was and trying out a new lifestyle and being just the strong, tough mother that she is, and proving that she can always show up for herself and her kids and make it work. And running alongside that storyline is the romance storyline again. She meets somebody who there are complexities in their relationship and reasons why maybe they shouldn't be together according to other people's standards, but according to mine and according to the standards of many other fans of Soledad and Jonah, they should be together, because why not? So there's the hurdle of her trying to reform her life after something pretty tragic and dramatic and big happening, and also falling in love again. And there are intricacies to this relationship that don't make it as cut and dry as like, hey, this is the person I want to be with, I'm just going to be with them. So that's Soledad's journey. In this arc that I will not spoil, I believe, let me check, let me confirm the date that it comes out, because I have never been right about this day in my life. Okay, yes. In this third installment of the Skyland trilogy, Can't Get Enough, which releases on May 13th, not February anything, we get to follow Hendrix. Hendrix is the third in the friend group. She has been somewhat of, I kept mistakenly saying yesterday, comic relief, and that's not what I mean. She is just that reliable character that you know what you see is what you get, and she's got a witty one-liner in response to almost everything. She's got this positive energy. You know she's going to be there. You know she's going to show up. You know she's going to tell you to like get what you want, take what you feel you deserve, and worry about everything else after. She's just so headstrong and just so tough. But we get to see these little cracks in both of the books that come before of Hendrix dealing with her mother's failing health. And so this book focuses on those two themes. We have on one track, of course, the romance that's always there, but on the other track, we are dealing with a parent who's suffering from Alzheimer's and something that is degenerative like that, and how that can take a toll on everybody that you know and love, or that knows and loves the person. What can I tell you about this without spoiling it, and how can I convince you that this is something that you absolutely want to read, because it is. One, if you've already read the series, this is a great final book. This is a great way to tie off all the loose ends. The friendships that you see between these girls have not wavered, have not gone away. I think that, on a just side tangent before I get into the book fully, we all know that Kennedy Ryan can write romantic love really well. There's no question about it. Romantic love is, in all of these books, very well done. Platonic love between these three friends makes me so unrealistically emotional, because the way they show up for each other is so beautiful. And in Before I Let Go, the first book of the series, there is a scene where Yasmin has a dramatic moment. I won't say exactly what happened in case you haven't read it, but she has this moment where she finds herself standing in the middle of a fountain fully clothed, and she turns around and her two friends, oh God, I'm such a crybaby. Her two friends are standing with her in this fountain. They have no reason why they're in there. They're just like, okay, what's next? What are we doing? What do we do? It was an unspoken moment, but it was so big in the grand scheme of things. And it was such a huge display of love. And in a trilogy that is romance and centered around love, I remember that scene more than anything, because I feel like it was such a monumental display of what platonic love can look like. And it really set the tone for the rest of the books in this series, and how their friendship will weave throughout and encourage them to be the best version of themselves, and the version of themselves who all go after what they want. So that was a side tangent on, like, if you're not going to read it just because it's the third in the series and you've already read the first two, read it because you support this girl's friendships and it's beautiful and you want to see it play out to the end. So that's another thing. So Hendrix's story, as we've already established, is about her mother's failing health, but also herself. In her personal journey that we get to follow, she's at a pivotal moment in her career. She's making big strides. She still is headstrong as she always is, but the very first hurdle she confronts is the fact that her mother's on the decline, and she knows that it's going to pull her away from work as she tries to be there for her mother, provide for her mother, be a caregiver to her mother to some degree. And as the friend in the group who's always that one who's like, I'm not thinking about love, I'm not thinking about having kids, I don't want any of that stuff. I just want to have my career and enjoy my life and have a good time and not feel obligated to anything. that is such a huge deviation from like just who she is as a person. So we have that internal conflict of like realizing, you know, I can't give 100% to everything every single day. And then on the second hurdle, we have billionaire Maverick Bell. And I like always refer to him as billionaire Maverick Bell. I never just say one or the other for some reason. This is the love interest of the story. He is honestly the perfect guy for Hendrix, but there are complexities behind their relationship. It interferes with the career side of her world, while on a more personal side, there's some experiences that they've both shared or had to kind of deal with that actually make them almost perfect for each other. So she's being torn in that way as well, where she feels like a connection with this person because they have shared experiences, but also feels like it steps over the boundaries of what is acceptable for her personally, for her personal ethos, I guess. So yes, I'm trying not to spoil it. I don't know if I just made that really, really, really muddy or not, but essentially we have a really tough, hyper-independent woman who is now responsible for being a caregiver while her career is at a really peak moment, and she finds herself a little bit distracted by love that kind of messes with the career side of things as well. And for someone who's normally all together and has it ready to go, this kind of scatters everything, drops all the marbles on the floor, and she's got to find out how to pick it up. We still get the headstrong, tough woman in this, but she lets herself be a little bit softer. She understands about what it means to ask for help, and that sometimes giving 100% doesn't look the same on a Tuesday as it does on a Wednesday, but priorities on Tuesday versus Wednesday really differ. Now, do you want to read it? Yes. Obviously. Again, finish off the series. Second thing, great friendship, support it. Third thing, if you are someone who maybe has experienced a loved one with Alzheimer's, Kennedy Ryan is amazing and delicate in the way that she delivers the messagery about showing up for those people and how it impacts the people around that character. And so that's something that you may find camaraderie with or a different point of view with, and that could be really helpful. Then on the love front, it's just a romance. I mean, it's good. I would say billionaire Maverick Bell is one of the more like direct and forward men in the... Actually, I think all the men in her books are pretty direct and forward, except it's been a long time, but maybe Josiah. But he's very into Hendrix. He is very direct about that. He's very clear about that. So we get that kind of man in the book, you know? The hot scenes are hot. I would say they're hotter in this book than the other two. It's crazy. I don't know. If you like some spice, it's there. It's not like hot and heavy. I think obviously she does an incredible job of like pacing and like dropping it in there where it's necessary. But yeah, I don't know. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Ending wise, I still left the book feeling like I'm gonna miss my friends, and I think I will. I think the world that was created within the Skyland neighborhood is just really awesome. I think that you know who's who, you know the personalities of the kids. Even when they all get together throughout this book for just different events, it's just really beautiful to know that Kennedy Ryan has created a cast of characters that have such strong personalities, even if their page time isn't very heavy. Words and themes that I can think of. Obviously romance, a little bit of spice. Grief, because there is a grief element to the book, friendship, balance, strength, growth, humility. Yeah, humility is a good one. Confidence and bravery and boldness and self-assuredness and self-trust and self-acceptance. All that. But I think that's just Hendrix. She wrote a strong character in Hendrix. Highly recommend finishing it off. I obviously don't have the book here to show you because I have it on a Kindle right now. But I will have it on May 13th like you should, like you will after this conversation, after our little chat today. I'm sure you will, and you should because it's incredible. Finishes everything off. The cover's amazing. I think this one is going to be like a pale, like a lilac or a purple color, so I think it's just a really pretty addition to the stack. Can't wait to have it. Can't wait to talk more about it. Can't wait for the world to start talking about it and get to hear it. And I'm so thankful that I was one of the first. This was I will say Before I Let Go was the first romance book that I felt a real, maybe I could like this genre about. Kennedy Ryan changed my life. She got me into romance. So thank you for that. Highly recommend. Again, May 13th is when it is out. Pre-order available in the link down below. I think that is all. So thanks for listening. Hopefully this was not incredibly boring or hard to follow. Trust me, if I shared yesterday's version, you'd be like, girl, what did you just say? It's actually really embarrassing. Anyway, here you go. Bye.